grab a coffee, grab a drink, grab whatever you need. You might even need a snack because this is my 32-week pregnancy update. Yeah, we made it to 32 weeks. All right, I am finishing off iced coffee. It is iced coffee. I don't know if you guys can hear that. But it's my Home Alone 2 cup and it says Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. We love it. Christmas is my favorite time of year, in case you guys did not know. I am in my living room. My living room is a mess. It is on my list of things to kind of clean and organize today. I am also on my birthing ball, exercise ball, whatever you guys want to call it. My doctor did give me the A-OK because I'm not using it to like go into labor. I'm more or less using it to sit on, spread my legs a little bit, help open up my hips in preparation for birth. Occasionally you guys will see me bounce. That's just because it just happens. You know, it just happens. But let's talk about my 32-week pregnancy update because y'all, we have so much to talk about. Like, I feel like when I hit like 29 weeks, I feel like my body was just like, girl, we're gonna start doing everything. And it's just been, I don't want to say it's been downhill since then, but it's been crazy since I hit 29 weeks. Like, it's been crazy. It's been absolutely crazy. So let's talk about it because there's a lot to talk about. Okay, so 32 weeks pregnant. That's crazy. I actually think, am I still 7 months? I don't know. I don't remember what month pregnancy I am. I'm exhausted if you guys haven't been able to tell. I've been really trying to focus on self-care. Especially being in my 3rd trimester. It gets a little bit easier for me to self-care myself during the day because my son is in school. So I really try, even if that's just taking a bubble bath, if that's relaxing in the bed, you know, closing my eyes for a little bit, because trust me, for some reason, sleeping at night is horrendous. I can't do it. But sleeping during the day, I can do it. But I try not to sleep all day because I'm trying to get myself to sleep at night. You know what I mean? And even when I like sit in the bed, I don't actually fall asleep. I kind of just more or less just close my eyes, if anything. But yeah, sleeping's not a thing. And I've been, like I said, I've been really trying to like self-care myself. Bubble baths, face masks, hand masks, foot masks, like all of that fun stuff, just to really just help me relax. And yeah, I try to do that a couple times a week. Another thing is my heat just kicked on, in case you guys heard that, because it's freezing where I live. We have a potential for snow this week. So my last doctor's appointment was last Tuesday. Yes, last Tuesday, a week ago today. And I was exactly 31 weeks. My belly was measuring 34. Yeah. My blood pressure, everything was good. Again, I know I sound like a broken record at this point. I lost 2 ounces. I'm still yet to gain over 10 pounds, which is crazy. But anyway, I did submit my glucose levels to my doctor because if you guys do not know, if you guys are newer here, I've been getting newer subscribers, and I really want to take that this opportunity real quick to thank you guys, excuse me, so freaking much. I cannot believe I'm over 200 subscribers. I got an email notification yesterday that I hit over 200 subscribers, and I literally like had to come on and check because I could not believe it. Like, I just sit here and I do these updates because I love being a mom. I love posting about my daily life. And it's just like, I cannot believe that there's that many people that enjoy watching me. And I just wanted to say thank you guys so much. Like, it great, like truly from the bottom of my heart, like means so much to me. So thank you guys so much. So much. Like, because ever since I started taking YouTube seriously, I didn't think that I was going to get anywhere. And you guys are proving me wrong. So honestly, again, thank you. It just means so much to me. Where was I with that? Pregnancy brain. I should know better. I can't get off topic. Oh, so because I have newer subscribers, if you guys do not know, I have gestational diabetes, which is a diabetes that you can get in pregnancy. Usually, majority of the time after pregnancy, it does go away. So I have to check my blood sugars 4 times a day. One time in the morning, like fasting. So as soon as you get up in the morning, I have to poke myself, get my blood sugar, write it down. I have to eat breakfast. I have to check my blood sugar 2 hours after I eat breakfast, 2 hours after I eat lunch, 2 hours after I eat dinner. I brought my sugar levels to my doctor last week and he was not too impressed with them. I was not at that point yet where he wanted to prescribe me something for my blood sugar, but he did mention it. And given how my blood sugars have been since then, I don't foresee that not happening. I have had some higher blood sugars, which I know a lot of people are gonna be like, well, watch where you eat. I am on a very strict diet. I got told what was okay to eat and drink. I did go see a nutritionist and I am following it. Not to a T, but I'm following it very, very well. And you guys do need to remember this is not my first pregnancy with gestational diabetes. I did have it as well with my son, who's now 5 years old. So it's just, sometimes it doesn't matter. And that's what my nutritionist told me, because I got very, very discouraged when I found out I had gestational diabetes again, because in a way, for me anyway, I felt like I was letting myself down. I felt like my body was letting the baby down, and I don't want anyone to feel that way. When I talk to my nutritionist, a lot of the time what causes gestational diabetes is your hormone change. Like the hormones, it just happens. So do not be disappointed with yourself. But so right now there is talk about possibly putting me on something for my sugar levels, because they're not crazy dangerous high, but they're out of the range on where they should be. So that's first and foremost. Baby girl's heart rate was like 150 last Tuesday when we went. She moves constantly. Even to this day, this girl, she like dances constantly. She is constantly just loving life. Last week I did get my RhoGAM shot, which is for my Rh negative blood. And I will get another shot after the baby is born. Again, I still plan on kind of doing a whole video on that to kind of explain it more in depth, because not everybody needs to get it during pregnancy, just people that are Rh negative. Anyway, so there's that. If I yawn, I'm sorry. So yeah, so all of that was done Tuesday. Wednesday, I was feeling a little yucky. I woke up Wednesday morning with a really, really, really bad headache. Not feeling too good at all. Not feeling good at all. And I waited, because sometimes I'm not the greatest at hydrating myself. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I'm just, dehydrated. We'll see. And I was having some contractions. Now, not Braxton Hicks not Braxton Hicks. I do know the difference. Contractions. So I kept an eye on them. I made it through Wednesday. Thursday morning, the 7th. Yes, Thursday the 7th. I woke up still with a killer headache. At that point, It had been 24 hours. I was still getting contractions. My contractions were starting to come closer together and I was feeling some pressure. I called my doctor's office about noon, but not realizing that they were on lunch. About almost 2 o'clock, they finally called me back. And my doctor wanted to see me right away just to kind of make sure everything was okay. And I had an appointment scheduled for Thursday at 4. So I had a little bit to wait. I got myself in the shower, kind of just to clean up and help those contractions. Because at that point, they were coming like every 5 minutes. And they weren't like extremely strong or completely intense, but they were strong enough. And that migraine was making me very, very nervous. So I made it to my doctor's appointment. My blood pressure was perfectly fine. I've never had an issue with my blood pressure, honestly. A couple times during pregnancy, I've had like a low blood pressure, but not dangerously low, but I've never been high. And hold on. All right. So yeah, I never had issues with my blood pressure. My blood pressure was perfectly fine. Before my doctor even walked in, so like the room that they had me in was directly across from like the little like office area where the doctors like have their computers and they sit down like between patients and stuff. And I heard my doctor, literally call labor and delivery and tell me that he was sending me over before he even came in to check on me. Yeah. Yep, he did. When he came in, he just asked me like how I was feeling, what was going on. He goes, I'm sending you over to labor and delivery because I like these symptoms, there's too much. Like you need to make sure that you're okay. So he did check the baby's heart rate. She was like 130 something. She was resting. She was chill. She was good. And he goes, okay, let's get you over to the hospital now. Make sure you're good. So I get to the hospital almost 5 p.m. on Thursday. And no, they did all the things. They checked my heart rate, my blood pressure, my temperature, asked me how I was feeling, how I was, like, everything that was going on. They did make me pee in a cup, fun stuff. And they did put me up to the fetal heart monitor. So they were monitoring baby girl's heart rate and my contractions. My contractions at one point got to 2 to 3 minutes apart and they were kind of strong. So that made them nervous with the fact that they could not, like, for the life of them, figure out what was going on with my headache. And then through peeing in a cup, and this is where it's going to get a little TMI. I'm sorry, but we just keep it real over here. I thought I was just going to be in the hospital for like maybe a couple hours for monitoring, everything like that. I was wrong. So, we couldn't get my migraines under control. Contractions were actually got a little bit closer together. And then my urine test came back from the lab. I had not a whole heck of a lot, but I had some protein in my urine, which, if you guys do not know, usually high blood pressure, headache, migraine, protein in your urine can be a sign of preeclampsia. And that's when I started getting scared. I started getting nervous and I was like, oh my God, what is going on? On top of the fact that I was having contractions 2 to 3 minutes apart and they did not feel good. And the back pain that I was having was crazy. Like, I was having the most back pain. And it came and went with contractions. So I was just thinking it was back contractions because I got a lot of back labor with my son. So from there, they decided to run a bunch of tests. They did, I had to get a CT scan for my head, to make sure everything was okay. If you guys do not know, I am a migraine person. I do suffer from migraines. Usually when I'm not pregnant, I am on a migraine medication every single night. I have to take it before I go to bed. When I found out I was pregnant, my primary care doctor pulled that from me because you cannot take that medication when you're pregnant. But up until now, my migraines have never been an issue throughout my pregnancy. I've gotten like a headache here and there, but not a severe migraine. So they finally, after 23 hours, got my headache under control, and they did prescribe me something for the days that my headache does get worse, something that's obviously safe for pregnancy. I was there for 23 hours. Because I got admitted without being admitted, but we'll talk about that in a minute. I'm kind of all over the place right now. I did have someone, an ultrasound, sonogram tech, whatever you want to call them. Sorry if I'm getting it wrong. They came in and they looked at my kidneys to make sure my kidneys were okay, because I have had kidney infections before. I've had kidney stones before, and my kidneys were great. The only thing that they did find is I do have a small cyst on my right kidney. So after pregnancy, I have to meet up with a neurologist, make sure everything's going okay up there. And I have to also meet with a urologist to kind of figure out what's going on with my right kidney. Other than that, everything was good. So the only thing that they could really think of was, okay, maybe this is preeclampsia. I had to sign a paper that wasn't like, it was like admitting me, but not admitting me. It was like basically like, okay, we can't keep you here any less than 8 hours. So the minimum I had to stay there was 8 hours. The maximum I could stay there was 48 hours. So it's kind of just like a paper of like stating like you're being admitted, but it was like close watch. You know what I'm saying? Backtrack a little bit. When I was 29 weeks pregnant, I was having some contractions and some pressure. I had my 29-week checkup on a Monday. By Wednesday or Thursday, I had to go back to the doctor because of how I was feeling. Y'all, my doctor at my doctor's office checked me, and I wasn't dilated yet, and I wasn't even thinning out. That was at 29 weeks. Last Thursday at 31 weeks and 2 days, I got checked because they had to, because of my symptoms and everything else. I am 2 centimeters dilated and 30% effaced already. Yeah. Yep, we've started dilating. They did check me a couple times too because of consistent contractions. They needed to see if the contractions were causing dilation and stuff. And once I left the hospital, like before I left the hospital on Friday afternoon, I was still at a 2 centimeters and I was still at like 30% effaced. And the baby's head is still a little high up. So they think. They don't know. I do have a tilted uterus, and it tilts backwards. So it's actually kind of hard to tell baby's position, if you know what I mean. But it felt like baby's head was still high up. But I'm for sure 100% 2 centimeters dilated and at least 30% effaced, which means thinned out. Which is crazy to me because that was at 31 weeks and 2 days. So literally in the 2 weeks, not even the full 2 weeks from when I had last been checked, I had gotten to 2 centimeters dilated and thinning out. So that's kind of like a good thing, but like scary thing. I could stay 2 centimeters right up until I get induced, right up until my water breaks and she tries to come by herself. Like, just because you're 2 centimeters dilated doesn't mean you're going to go way before your due date. You could stay at 2 centimeters dilated. You could stay at 1 centimeter dilated. When my water broke for my son, I got to the hospital and I had been like 1 centimeter dilated for like 2-3 weeks. And I was still like 1.5 centimeters dilated after he broke my water. So that really doesn't mean too much. But it is kind of exciting that I'm already 2 centimeters dilated. And thinning out. Anyway, eventually they did get my headache under control. They also had to give me some magnesium for not just my headache, but for the contractions, because at 31 weeks, they don't want you going into labor. So if they do try to stop it, and they actually gave me magnesium for my son when my son tried coming at 34 weeks. I was on a magnesium drip for a little while because they don't want you going into labor. Eventually they found a medication. It did stop my migraines. So they did determine that what was giving me that migraine wasn't preeclampsia, wasn't, you know, anything to going into labor. It was just my migraines coming back. So they did prescribe me something for my migraines until the baby comes. And then this is where it gets fun. I got swabbed and stuff a bunch of times when I was there. And again, this is one of those things that if it happens, it happens. Don't beat yourself up because it is what it is. And we're going to get a little graphic and TMI here. But Sunday night, today's Tuesday, right? Yes. So Sunday night, they did a couple swabs on me that took 2 days to come back. The results took 2 days to come back. And I got them done like Thursday or late Thursday night. So Sunday night, the ER doctor, the ER labor and delivery doctor had called me, and it was the same one that was on shift when I was there on Thursday. And my cultures came back, and I actually have a yeast infection, which is fun. I haven't dealt with one of those in probably 15 years. And honestly, she said it's the hormone change. The fact that my body's getting ready for labor, like things in your 3rd trimester, your body goes through even more than it did the 1st and 2nd trimester. So like everything's all out of whack. And that's what caused the yeast infection. It's a very small one, very mild, but that's also what could have been putting the protein in my urine, was the fact that I had an infection. So I got put on an antibiotic for that. No big deal. I had no signs and symptoms of it other than the protein. You know what I'm saying? So yes, we got put on an antibiotic for that. And up until right now, like that's how that hospital trip went. I got discharged after 23 hours. It was a very long 23 hours. It was crazy being in labor and delivery for 23 hours because just like seeing like the whole baby setup, it made me so excited, but so scared at the same time. Like I've already posted a video like this. I'm scared to give birth all over again. I've already done it. I've already had a baby, but it's still scary. But it's just like, I'm also at this point, I think I'm getting more excited to meet her than anything else. And other than that, that was my big thing that happened. So I'm walking into 32 weeks pregnant, 2 centimeters dilated, 30% effaced. I don't know if baby girl is still like dropping. She was still head down, obviously, when I was at the hospital. We did get a small sneak peek of her when the ultrasound tech came in to like look at my kidneys. She did show a little bit of the baby because we are still, they have not talked about doing another sonogram, which is crazy. I think they're waiting until my 34-week checkup because I'm almost, when I was there scheduling my next, last Tuesday when I was there scheduling my next checkup, the receptionist was talking about my NST testing, which I get them every week because of being gestational diabetic. There are a couple other reasons why you'd get an NST testing weekly in your 3rd trimester. But I get them for sorry guys, I'm exhausted. I get them for gestational diabetes. It's just a weekly non-stress test. I sit in a recliner at my doctor's office when it's my appointment time. And I think it's for like 15, 20 minutes. I sit there and they monitor baby girl's heart rate and they monitor my contractions. And it just adds like 15, 20 minutes onto your regular checkup. But the receptionist was like, hey, because my doctor came out with me. And she was like, when do you want to see her next? And are we starting the NST testing? Because she scheduled me for next Thursday, the 21st. I will be 33 weeks and 2 days pregnant. NST testing starts at 34 weeks. So I'm thinking at 34 weeks is when I'm going to start my weekly appointments because of having to get my NST testing done as well. And I know that they do the NST testing every week. So I think around that time, they will be talking about hopefully doing one more sonogram because they want to make sure that baby isn't getting too big in there. And even then, that's just an estimate. I think my last ultrasound for my son was barely, maybe it could have been. I'd have to look back. I think it was like a week and a half. And they said, oh, he's looking around 8 pounds. He came out 9 pounds, 14 ounces. So it's just a rough estimate when they do sonograms. But they also want to make sure there's enough fluid in there. You know what I mean? Make sure everything's okay. Anyway, off topic, on topic, whatever. So yeah, they haven't talked about sonogram yet, but we did kind of catch a glimpse of her. The ultrasound tech was nice enough. She goes, yeah, we'll check on her for a second. So she kind of put it over my belly to see where she was. And this girl has, and I've been saying this, she has got the longest legs. She's got cute little baby feet. And she's always putting her feet, she's always playing with her feet. She always has her hands with her feet. She loves them. And we did catch a little glimpse of her face. Y'all, she is so freaking cute. And I'm biased. I know this is my baby, but she is, oh my gosh, I cannot wait. She looks like she's got little chunky cheeks. And you did see some hair floating in the fluid. She's just perfection. And I cannot wait to snuggle her. I cannot wait to snuggle with her. But yeah, so that's that. I do have my next appointment, like I said, for 33 weeks and 2 days. So next Thursday, I'm pretty excited, kind of not. I don't know what it's going to bring, especially because my blood sugars have been kind of high. And by the sounds of it, don't quote me, but by the sounds of it, that's going to be my last bi-weekly checkup. I think I will start my weekly checkups the following week at 34 weeks. And I think I'll be doing non-stress test every week. We will see how it goes. But yeah, it's exciting. Anyway, let's do a belly shot. Other than that, baby girl still moves like crazy. She seems content in there. She's big. I can tell she's big because it's just, I honestly feel like I don't have enough fluid in there for her. But she pushes herself up right up to my stomach where I can literally I'm like, oh yeah, there's her back, there's her leg, there's her foot. My son never did that. But every baby's different. I have a ton of pelvic pressure constantly. Contractions are a daily thing, all day, every day, all night, every night. I'm exhausted. And at this point, like I said, I'm just excited to meet her. I cannot wait for baby snuggles. I'm ready for the newborn bliss. I'm ready. I'm ready to see my son be a big brother. He's ready to meet her. He counts down more than I do. So anyway, let's show y'all the belly because it's giving. Sorry, I got to get up kind of slow because of the pelvic pain. Nothing fits me. If I find something that fits me, it's a good day. But this is the belly at 32 exactly. Like I said, I'm still high up there. I've started to drop, but I know I've got more room to drop. And yeah. But you can definitely tell, if you guys have been following me, you guys can definitely tell that I've dropped. It's crazy seeing my belly on video and camera and stuff because when I look at it, I'm looking down at it. I just see this part right here. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm big, but I'm not huge. But even my doctor, when I went in last Thursday before he sent me to the hospital, he goes, are you hiding a basketball underneath your shirt? I was like, I feel like it. I feel like it. I'm getting so big. But yeah, This is baby girl and I at 32 weeks pregnant. We're almost done. We're almost done. We've got 6 or 7 weeks until induction, guys, if she doesn't come before that. Like, that's crazy to me. Crazy, 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 crazy to me. All right. That's it. That's my pregnancy update. It's long. I'm sorry. If I didn't have that hospital visit, this would have been a super, super quick pregnancy update. But cheers to being 32 weeks and everything happening. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And I will talk to you guys in the next one. One will be 33 weeks. 33 weeks, you guys might get a little bit later. I don't know if you guys are going to get a 33-week update on 33 weeks because usually I turn a new week on Tuesday. I usually have my appointments on Mondays, but my appointments are kind of getting like later in the week. And I turn 33 weeks next Tuesday, but I don't have my appointment until next Thursday. So I might wait until my appointment so that way I can kind of update you guys on everything that my doctor said and all of that. So you guys might just be getting it a little bit later on in the week, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.